You're sitting there with two tabs open. One is your investing app, $500 just sitting in cash, ready to buy some index funds because everyone says time in the market beats timing the market. The other tab, sitting there quietly, ignored, is your credit card statement. Balance, $4,200. A PR, 24%. And instead of dealing with that tab, you close it and hit buy on the investing app instead, because investing feels productive and paying off debt feels like standing still. But here's the thing nobody tells you in that exact moment. You just walked past a guaranteed 24% return to go chase a hopeful 8%. My name is Jack. If you've ever felt torn between investing and paying off credit card debt, hit subscribe, because today I'm going to show you why paying off a 24% credit card is one of the best investments you'll ever make, and why treating debt payoff and investing as two separate categories is actually the mistake. Let's start with the real problem, because it's not what people assume. Most people think of debt payoff and investing as two different things competing for the same dollar. Pay off debt, boring, feels like standing still. Invest, exciting, feels like building wealth. But here's what most people don't realize. Paying off high-interest debt isn't the opposite of investing. It is investing. It just comes with a guaranteed rate of return instead of a hopeful one. Here's why. When you pay off a credit card charging 24% interest, you are guaranteed to avoid paying that 24% going forward. That's not a projection. That's not an average. That's not historically speaking. It's locked in, guaranteed, the moment you make the payment. Compare that to the stock market, which has historically returned somewhere around 8 to 10% a year on average, but with real years of losses mixed in along the way. No investment on earth can promise you a guaranteed 24% return. Not stocks, not real estate, not crypto, nothing. And yet paying off a credit card gives you exactly that, risk-free, guaranteed, no waiting required. Let's do the actual math, because this is where it gets real. Say you have $5,000. Option 1, you invest it and earn a solid 9% average return over the year. That's $450 in gains. Assuming a good year, no guarantees. Option 2, you use that same $5,000 to pay off a credit card charging 24% interest. That's $1,200 in interest you no longer pay over the year. Compare $450 of hopeful, average, some years negative investment gains to $1,200 of guaranteed locked-in savings. The math isn't close. And this is before we even account for the fact that market returns are unpredictable year to year, while your 24% APR is printed right there on your statement, guaranteed to apply every single month you carry a balance. Here's why this matters more than people realize. There's a popular argument that goes, invest first, because compounding needs time, don't wait to start. And that's genuinely good advice when your investment return is expected to beat your debt's interest rate. But that argument completely breaks down once your debt interest rate is higher than any realistic investment return. You're not skipping compounding by paying off debt first. You're just choosing the version of compounding that's actually working in your favor instead of against it. Because carrying a balance means that 24% is compounding against you every single month, quietly, whether you're paying attention to it or not. Let me give you two people, Marcus and Elena. Both have $5,000 available, and both are carrying $4,200 in credit card debt at 24% APR. Marcus splits the difference. He invests half, pays down some debt with the other half, trying to balance both priorities because that feels responsible. Elena puts the entire $5,000 toward the debt first, wiping it out completely, then starts investing the following month once the debt is gone. A year later, Marcus has some modest investment gains, but he's still carrying a chunk of that credit card balance, still paying 24% interest on it every single month. which has quietly eaten into any progress his investments made. Elena, meanwhile, has zero credit card debt, an entire extra year of investing with her full paycheck instead of splitting it with debt payments, and none of her money is being drained by a 24% APR. Same starting point, same amount of money, completely different trajectory, because one of them stopped the bleeding first. So how should you actually think about this? Here's the framework. Compare your guaranteed rate to your realistic expected rate. If a debt's interest rate is higher than what you could realistically expect to earn investing, pay off that debt first every time, because you are guaranteed to earn that rate the moment the balance is gone. Credit cards, personal loans, anything sitting north of 15 to 20% almost always wins this comparison, because very few investments reliably clear that bar. Second exception worth knowing. If your employer offers a 401k match, grab that first, even before high-interest debt, because a full match is usually an immediate 50 to 100% return before the money even gets invested. That's the one guaranteed return that can beat even a 24% credit card. But once you've captured the match, redirect everything else toward the high-interest debt before increasing your regular investment contributions. Third, once the high-interest debt is gone, that's when the normal investing advice fully applies. Time in the market, consistent contributions, compounding, all of it. You haven't delayed your wealth building by paying off debt first. You've just removed the leak that was draining it the entire time. Here's the identity shift underneath all of this. Guaranteed returns are incredibly rare in the entire world of finance. Almost everything comes with some level of risk and uncertainty attached. But a high-interest credit card sitting in your wallet right now is quietly offering you one of the only truly guaranteed returns you'll ever come across. You just have to recognize it as an investment opportunity instead of something separate from your financial goals. Paying it off isn't the boring, responsible thing you do instead of investing. It's the smartest, highest returning move available to you at that exact interest rate. So here's your action step. Pull up your credit card statement right now and look at the actual APR. If it's sitting above 15 to 20%, that debt is your highest priority investment opportunity, ahead of any brokerage app, ahead of any hot stock tip, ahead of almost everything except an employer match you'd otherwise leave on the table. If this changed how you think about debt payoff, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. What's the highest interest rate you've ever paid off? And how did it feel once it was gone?